The Nerd and Tie podcast is unsurprisingly part of the Nerd and Tie podcast network. For more podcasts from actual play to true crime to witchcraft, go to nerdandtie.com or join our Discord by going to nerdandtie.com/discord.
On this month's
Did you know that you could sponsor Nerd and Tie? That's right. For $20, we'd say your name. We'd say something nice about you, and we'd tell you how you look kicking in those shoes. That's right. Just go to nerdandtie.com, click on the sponsor form, and that way, you know, we do this live, folks. Every time.
We don't edit this. Good luck.
On this month's edition of Nerd and Tie, we bid farewell to 2020 by looking at the best and worst of the year. It's that time again. What were the best things? What were the worst things? All of that with the Vomit Hat Steve Challenge this month on Nerd and Tie.
How many times have we done the show?
How
How many times have we done the show?
What year is it, hon?
What?
We are.
Did I say 2022?
No,
not say
no, you got that right. Oh, you wait.
Did I?
Did he? Folks,
Oh my God.
listeners, I want you to go back and listen to that intro and how we've train wrecked this, and it's staying in. You know, there's some podcasts.
2022.
There's some podcasts on this network that we
Bad
spend a lot of time on, and we do the edits, and we like do the intros and post, and like, and you know, many years ago we did do this show that way, and then a few years ago, like maybe like oh god, like over 5 years ago, we just started like going like, okay, we've done this so many times that we can just like do this intro every time perfectly. And it's great, and it'll be just like we were doing it in the pre-record, and we've been doing it really well. We've been doing it really well for years.
Have we?
We
though?
have. But today,
have I been doing it that well?
Today
that's
we have
lying lie thing coming out.
we
of
have
your
we
mouth.
have driven this train straight into the wall tonight.
There is.
And it was the second take. I made a mistake and I reset it because my only mistake was I said a word before the recording had actually started, and so I had to they had a second take.
I've never been good at this, and if you are trying to say that I was,
You've done it successfully many times. You have done it successfully many times.
It's not how I remember it,
I don't even
Rashomon.
do it.
Not how
I
I
choose
remember.
not to.
That was true. Gen bowed out of doing the intros a while ago.
Yeah. Because y'all let me.
Celeste, introduce us.
I'm bad at this. I'm the worst ever. I'm Celeste. Hello. I'm bad at most everything. Reminding me of how bad I am, the person who runs the network. We got Trey.
I just want to point out, you have done this many times successfully. You are not bad at it. You just did not successfully execute today.
Apparently the only one knowing what year it is. We have the Genjamin.
I ate turkey before this podcast, so if I fall asleep in the middle of it, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, fair enough.
I mean, just eating turkey doesn't actually make you sleepy. There's like more tryptophan and like 20 other things you eat.
I know.
You're a tryptophan. But you know what I'm a fan of? Film. Oh my gosh. I am really legitimately, despite my self-deprecating jokes, I'm pretty excited. It is that time of year again. We're wrapping up what was good and what was bad of 2022. And I'm excited for it. Are you guys excited? Maybe a little bit.
A little bit.
I mean, I'm on board.
So I'm excited to get going with it. As per tradition, glorious tradition. Tradition, yeah. So as per the glorious tradition, it is we start with our first category, the best film and the worst film of 2022.
The problem is
So,
there's so many movies I didn't get a chance to see this year.
Yeah,
Honest-
same.
Same.
Like I didn't get a chance to see Nope.
I haven't seen Nope yet. I've been meaning to. I'm recognizing that recency bias is probably going to be coloring my perspective, but my vote for best movie of 2022 is Glass Onion. I like.
So that's on my
just
list.
watched
That's-
2 nights
That's
it.
on the yeah.
That's
I
on my
have-
list.
and I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh,
so
it's
good.
so good. But like
I know.
but
I
there's
wanted-
been like this has been an interesting year for film because like there are some movies like obviously like there are movies that were good that wouldn't be like on my best pick. Let me be clear when I say this movie. Bullet Train turned out to be really good. Not my favorite movie, not my best of, but like there are films that like there are 3 different movies. There are 3 different Pinocchio movies.
That was weird. I've been meaning to watch the Guillermo del Toro one, and
That's the only one I watched.
I
It
was
was
about to
pretty good.
But you know what's also weird? Weird, the Al Yankovic story, which was a phenomenal film.
Oh
I
yeah,
haven't
and that
seen
was
one
that was
yet.
free. That was
Yeah.
free to watch.
But also really great was Prey, the new Predator movie.
Oh God, Prey was amazing. Prey
Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I almost undersold. Prey was just so freaking good. I was not prepared for how. I don't know. I was
Yeah, no, it's
not as big on like the first Predator movie. I like Prey. I straight up loved.
well, Amber Mid-Thunder is great in everything she does, and I will fight anyone who doesn't agree with me on that,
Hard agree. She's very good.
including Roswell, New Mexico. I will fight you.
Over the show Roswell, New Mexico, or you will pick a fight with the city of Roswell in New Mexico.
If they have
'Cause I
something
feel
bad
like
to say
both-
about the show Roswell, New Mexico, I will.
I mean, that's keeping their tourism bureau alive. They better not have anything bad to say.
I genuinely love that show. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying I love it.
That's fair.
Yeah,
No, I
but
get that.
you know, it's. I will say that like. You'll notice none of this conversation so far has been a Marvel or DC movie.
Yeah, because there's I
Yeah.
haven't been
But
that.
I didn't see the Black Panther movies out already, right? That came out.
yeah,
right?
I didn't.
Yeah,
see that
I
yet.
did. I haven't seen it yet. So
Me
let's
neither.
let's be clear. But like Black Adam was fine. I enjoyed it. It's
One more post-credit scene in DC that will never get paid off. Gotta love it.
yeah. Well, it's. But I'll tell you, like you already said it, but Glass Onion was literally at the top of my personal list, and admittedly, I just watched it yesterday. But
Yeah, it's that recency bias is there.
there is some
Yeah.
recency bias, maybe.
But,
But
like,
here's the
It's just really good.
here's the thing though, is that I love a good mystery movie like that. You know, it's like in the line of like a whodunit. I love a good whodunit. I have watched many whodunits in my life. You know what I mean?
It's also like the first Knives Out. It holds up to second viewing, which is it's like even when you know the twist, then on second viewing, it's like, oh, like look at all the clues that were right out there. That if you were maybe paying closer attention, or maybe you did get them the first time, but it's like, okay, everything was always right there. You could figure it out. It was possible. I love that.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not going to say any details about the movie because I don't want to spoil any of it, but there are things I picked up on while it was happening, and I love a good whodunit that doesn't that rewards the audience for paying attention and finding those
Yes.
clues, and doesn't try to fake you out about it. Like it rewards an audience that pays attention to the details.
Yeah, I strongly agree with that as well. I just it really tickled me the right way. I don't know, like as far as like the more mainstreamy stuff, I guess that we would be expected to have opinions on. I guess I also haven't seen the new Avatar. Maybe that's fun.
I don't plan on seeing it until it is on streaming.
Oh yeah, I do not care about Avatar anymore.
I didn't care about it the first time around. You know, when
Yeah,
I first
same.
watched
I
Avatar,
was forced to. I was like dragged along to the theater.
I watched Avatar, the first Avatar, months after it was out of theaters. When I watched it on a DVD at my parents' house. Like, it was like on a 60-inch TV, but it was still like.
I mean, here's a.
I
I still
enjoyed
need to
it.
see Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
that's
not
really
everybody
good. That
says
was
it's
this
out
year, wasn't
year.
it?
Yeah.
She is See,
Ooh.
recency bias.
Recency
That's
bias.
what screwed me up.
Yeah.
No,
Everything
for
Everywhere All at
sure.
Once.
That-
Oh, that's actually a strong contender, though. Like, crap, that might be. That actually might be better.
Ooh. Yeah.
Stupid recency
Actually, I just forgot
bias.
that for me that's not recency bias. That's just I forgot that was this year.
That was this year.
Ooh.
Yeah, because that was an amazing movie. We
Yeah.
got.
And man, I think my picks might be things that you haven't watched. I don't know. But I want to give a,
Like
a
what? Throw
good
one at
mention
me.
to Wendell and Wild.
Oh, I meant to watch that.
It's super good.
Well, I don't think I know that.
It's it's a stop motion animation film on Netflix. Yeah.
Which, according to the credits, like Everything Everywhere All at Once, also has James Hong in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch that. I didn't get a
I
chance
haven't
Yeah,
to.
seen
no,
that
that-
yet.
That's yeah, I figured. And then if I could just start off saying my favorite that I have actually watched, it's gonna be the Bollywood blockbuster RRR.
RRR? Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't I've seen clips from it, but I haven't watched it.
Oh, that looks really good.
It is 3 hours of glory.
That's
Okay.
the thing about Bollywood movies, though, is that like if you tell me a Bollywood movie is 3 hours, I'm like, so that's normal. Like,
Well, I haven't watched it because like Netflix only had the Hindi version, and I wanted to watch it in the but yeah.
Oh, I don't care. I don't care.
ironically, I have
version?
the opposite problem with the movie Brahmastra was on Disney Plus, and they only have it in English dub, and
Well,
I was
no,
like,
it's-
no,
the movie
I
wasn't
don't want
originally in
that.
Hindi. Hindi's the I think it oh god, what's
Oh,
it?
the dub is bad though, so I don't know what it was originally. But I would rather watch in what it was originally in because the dub is very bad.
Right, it's because
The- Or the English is very bad anyway.
yeah, because RRR is originally a Telugu language film,
Okay.
and so it's because it's not Bollywood.
Oh.
It's I mean it's an Indian film, but it's Tollywood, not Bollywood.
Right.
People don't realize
bad.
that in the U.S. that there are multiple film industries in
Mm.
India because it's 1 billion people.
Well, and it was a nice alliteration.
Yeah, it's right. So it's RRR is I need to watch it. There are thoughts about maybe the contextualizing of certain nationalistic things built into the film, and that is a
Mhm.
discussion for people who know more about Indian politics than we do.
Mhm.
But the movie does look cool. So I mean, I think
Oh yeah, it touches on some touchy subjects.
yeah. So it's it's a lot of the stuff I'm talking about is real subtle imagery, like and stuff that non-Indian audiences might not recognize, not the direct overt stuff.
Mm.
But that's
Okay.
again a conversation would need to do more research to like have. But the movie is neat. So right now it sounds like our 3 kind of candidates for best movie are Glass Onion, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and RRR.
Mm.
And, am I correct in that summation? If I
Yeah,
was gonna,
that's
You're
fair,
correct.
Yeah.
okay. Mm. Are we going to try and narrow it down to 1?
That's hard.
I mean, I know I will love Glass Onion because I also love whodunits.
Yeah.
Like I grew up watching British murder mystery shows.
Okay, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just
So
like,
it's
oh, that's
up
totally
your
like
alley.
my kind of thing.
That and Hugh Grant plays Benoit Blanc's significant other in a very brief cameo.
Yes.
Also, the last ever on-screen appearance by two Broadway legends. That was delightful. And way more related to Among Us than I was expecting. Yeah, no, it's great.
So I will say that like it's really hard for me because like narrowing it down for me between Glass Onion and Everything Everywhere All at Once is so hard because between the two films, Everything Everywhere All at Once is the more artistically challenging film, and I think it's the much emotionally deeper film. Like,
and it fucked me up something fierce.
But
it's just so
I
good.
might watch Glass Onion a second time when I don't think I'm going to watch Everything Everywhere All at Once a second time.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I get that. I can't even use that though, because like I can't use that metric because I have watched Everything Everywhere All at Once like multiple times now. And I get something new out of it every time.
It's really good.
Plus, it did kind of bring Ke Huy Quan back. Like
yeah.
he like hadn't done movies in so long, and now he's back, and I'm here for it.
Oh, and he's phenomenal. It's every performance in that movie is phenomenal. There isn't a bad performance in that cast.
No, hard agree.
And Rox's googly eyes will make you cry.
They will.
Honestly, I'm okay with having it be a tie of two movies I haven't seen yet.
Yeah, but I don't want to exclude your choice in the vote here. So that's the thing. But I haven't seen RRR yet.
That's the issue.
I should have seen RRR. I'm sorry. This is somehow
like I feel we have to narrow it down to two, and I haven't seen RRR, so I don't want to eliminate it out of my own decision. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's hard for me to. It's hard for any of us to compare the three because we haven't seen the others.
This is somehow my cat's fault.
Crikey.
Can we just call it a three-way tie and move on to worst?
I guess we're going to have to because Celeste and I aren't going to be able to pick a child between Glass Onion and Everything Everywhere All at Once.
It'll just say, hey, we saw 3 Spider-Mans at once. That makes it the best movie ever, right? Sure. Sorry.
That was last year.
Was that last year? Okay.
Spider-Man No Way Home was last year.
Oh, it was, wasn't it? I wanted to come up with something dumb.
No, and
that was an okay movie.
It wasn't even the first time we'd seen 3 Spider-Mans all at once.
That's why I was making fun of the concept, Trey.
I'll make fun of your concept. Anyways.
I'll make fun of your concept.
All right. Worst movie. Anyone else going to say Morbius, or do I have to?
I would.
Yes! It's Morbin time.
Morbius has done so much damage to the cultural discourse. I can't even.
It is
for a movie that no one saw. It has done incredible damage.
I saw it on Netflix. Thank you very much.
Okay, a movie that no one saw until it was streaming.
Yeah.
There we go. Is that more honest?
Yeah. I mean, the fact that
the fact that someone at Sony was dumb enough to see people doing memes making fun of the title and thought they should put it in theaters again. So it bombed a second time?
That was amazing. They didn't get the joke. Thank God Goncharov isn't real, or else they would have tried to do that.
Oh,
I basically Morbius is the only thing keeping one of the Pinocchios from being at the bottom, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know
Yeah.
which one. Maybe the Pauly Shore one. Maybe. Big maybe. But
Yeah.
oof.
All right. Awesome. Unanimous.
That was an easy
Worst movie
pick.
of this year. Morbius.
Sorry, now I've got the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers theme going through my head. Thanks, Morbius.
Thanks, Morbius.
Thanks. Just
Freaking Morbius.
Jared Leto. Making bad
That's-
movies, making bad
oh, yeah, that's-
kombucha.
Okay, gotta.
Yep.
Excellent callback. 1, 2. Getting real sick of just like yet another thing to make people be like, Jared Leto, and me just being like, maybe we can not do things that make Jared Leto more socially acceptable. I feel like that would be
Yeah.
good for, everyone.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just saying.
All right.
I do. I hate him. Anyway.
What, you don't like 30 Seconds to Mars?
I don't like his weird cult and his weird alleged cult and his creepy disposition and yeah.
Krista
all of
once
that.
my wife Krista once saw 30 Seconds to Mars in concert.
Wow.
I was just feet away from Jared Leto at one point.
Jared Leto, wow. I hope Krista avoided his weird cult.
She could have taken him out right there.
Could have done it.
Had the
Coulda done
opportunity.
it.
Let us down, Krista. Made
Okay.
the could have made Suicide Squad 2016 at least 12% less cringe.
All right. Let's move on to the next topic then of best new.
Yes.
So our TV category is always the best new thing. We don't we're not talking about ongoing shows because, or else we'd end up picking the same things every year.
Mhm.
So the best new show of 2022, and I'm just going to just say one word, Andor.
Hard agree. I really loved Andor.
There were many good
Right.
shows this year, and I don't want to sound like, the funny thing is, and I've said on this show that Andor is not my favorite Star Wars show by far, but it doesn't mean it's not the best of all the Star Wars shows. And it's because, for me, I go to Star Wars normally for escapism, and Andor was such a commentary on our current world that it wasn't escapism for me. But it was an excellent show, if that makes sense.
No, I agree. Like, I feel like I'm in the minority that really, really liked, that really enjoyed Kenobi and thought it was one of the highlights of the
I loved
Disney
Kenobi.
Plus Star Wars era. Yeah, like, okay, I mean, I know you're on the same page with me there, but at the same time, Kenobi is a enjoyable fast food meal, and Andor is a filling, nourishing, full course meal that I'm actually getting something out of it other than just empty calories. And yeah, I don't know how the showrunners and Diego Luna got one of the biggest mega corporations on Earth to sign off on them making an anti-fascist work of art, but they did, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. Like, a lot of new shows have come out this year also that I'm really into, but I think Andor's the best of them. So it's I want to talk about Willow because I love the Willow TV series deeply.
Same.
But it's not as good as Andor.
Again, you're a fan of Willow? I never would have guessed that.
Nope, not at all.
Literally, the
mean-
last time I watched that movie, it was at Gen's BS.
So Krista had never seen the original Willow movie, so we went and we
Oh,
watched
yeah.
it before starting the Willow TV series,
Good.
which is obviously, like, when we're recording this, is still releasing. You know, it's we're still in the middle of the season, but like, so she watched it for the first. So we watched it, and then we like immediately watched the first episode of the show, and
Good.
like I hadn't
Nice.
watched Willow for probably 20 years, like, and I thankfully remembered everything still, but it was just really, really enjoyable. And I think the Willow show's great. I don't think it's as good as like, there's so many shows that have been so good this year. Like The Peripheral is excellent. It's on Amazon Prime. It's based off of a William Gibson novel. What is wrong with me? Very different writers, both cyberpunk stuff often, but they're very different. It's The Peripheral. The Peripheral's really good. And I recommend it if you want like a really good like cyberpunk show, like real like excellent modern cyberpunk show. It's and it's based off the William Gibson book, but they make some changes to the plot. Stars Chloe Grace Moretz as the kind of the lead character in it, and it involves virtual reality and time travel, and just it's excellent. But
I had a big soft spot for Reboot, the comedy series on Hulu.
I did
thought
enjoy
was
that.
really
I
charming,
kept trying
but
to figure out when Hexadecimal was going to show up, and couldn't figure out where Bob was the entire season. But it was otherwise pretty good.
That's not the first Bobless season, though. So
That's
it's all
true.
right.
But Matrix wasn't there either.
That's true. So it's a little. I don't know if it really tied in well to the rest of the series, but I still think it was very good.
Sorry.
I always like Keegan Mike. In all seriousness, Keegan Michael Key and Rachel Bloom are like a very easy way to get me to watch anything, but
like
they did a very good job with it.
But like also this year we had Severance came out this year.
Yeah, it did.
Severance is amazing. I still think Andor's better. Like, that's the whole thing. It's like, so let's be clear. If I didn't list your favorite show from this year, it's not that I don't think your favorite show is good. Like, there's so many good shows that came out this year. We have
Strange New Worlds came out this year.
It did, and I'm a huge Star Trek fan, and it's
amazing. It's really, really good.
Yeah, it's
frustratingly so.
Like, there's a lot of stuff that I know that are looking more controversial. Like, I actually enjoyed the Halo series, but I know a lot of people didn't, and so I don't want to like necessarily elevate. There's stuff that was good that got canceled. Like Paper Girls was actually really good, but that got canceled. We haven't even brought up Rings of Power,
A thing that I really enjoyed.
which Sandman.
Sandman. I was
God.
waiting. Yeah, Sandman came out this year. She-Hulk, Our Flag Means Death.
Oh, Our Flag Means Death was this year?
Believe so.
God, that's
It was early this year, but
Yeah, no,
It's early this year. This was a strong year for television. I don't.
Yeah, that came
personal
out back
favorite
in March.
Shorzy.
Yeah. Shorzy was great. Yeah, Murderville.
God, Murderville was very funny.
Did you see their Christmas special yet?
I didn't. Oh, I didn't see there was a Christmas special.
There's a
I'm
Christmas
gonna put
special.
that on.
There's a Murderville Christmas. It's Jason Bateman, Maya Rudolph, and then just at the end, they bring in Pete Davidson, who has no idea what's going on. Like, he
See,
doesn't know
like,
any of the details for the murder for the whole episode.
Yeah, Our Flag Means Death and Sandman though were
Mm,
goddamn
Ms. Marvel?
works of art as well. Ms. Marvel was a very good time.
And this is the woman in the house across the street from the girl in the window.
I remember seeing the promos for that.
Which is a kind of a pastiche of thrillers while still also kind of being one. It's definitely worth watching. God, there's so many good shows this year. I I'm still sticking with Andor as my pick, though. That's the thing, is that I think that overall quality for the entirety of the season, I think it. Wait, was Peacemaker? Peacemaker was this year too.
Peacemaker was this year too. There were two, like, as far as like showings for DC television shows made for adults, this was an amazing year.
Yeah.
Like, because that's not even including, like, obviously we're only talking about new shows, so we're not including things like Doom Patrol and Harley Quinn still going
I love
strong.
Doom Patrol so much. It's like there's shows that I loved that I don't think should be on the, like, First Kill I think was great and was canceled too early. Like I genuinely loved it. Like, but like, you know, there are things like After Party. After Party was excellent. Like all of this stuff.
Yeah, all of these are strong contenders. It's just Andor was.
I think Andor was better.
I think it was just, again. I don't know if we'll ever get anything like it again. It feels special.
It's interesting because it's like Andor is not my favorite out of these shows, but I think Andor is the better show.
That's fair.
I just can't. Yeah, yeah. So I'm voting for Andor. How about you, Gen?
Our flag means death because I don't Star Wars.
Our Flag Means Death is amazing also.
Our Flag Means Death stars Rhys Darby, which again gives it a lot of points in my book.
Does.
It's that Rhys Darby factor really goes a long way for me. Also, like, non-binary pirates. Also, making me get really into reading about historical pirates.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking show.
Does have adorable queer characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, the queer rep in that show is really good.
Is next level? Yes. Yes, it is.
It's one of two queer pirate shows that exist that have Izzy Hands in it. I know.
That part's weird, right? That's weird. That Izzy Hands is that's weird. I think that's anyway.
What? That he appears in, I mean, Blackbeard appears in the other queer pirate show too.
But Blackbeard, everyone knows Blackbeard. Like, friggin' Blackbeard's in Fate.
So
like,
for those of you who don't know, so the other queer pirate show is Black Sails. All right?
Right.
Which none of the ships have black sails in Black Sails. I just want to point that out. It's just a interesting tale. But Black Sails is a effectively a prequel to Treasure Island. Like, it is a prequel to Treasure Island.
That is wild.
Which means that you know that, like, it's sort of like Billy Bones isn't going to die. He dies in the beginning of Treasure Island. Billy Bones is played by the guy who plays Luther on the Umbrella Academy.
Okay.
But but Blackbeard appears, but it says, though, Izzy Hands is actually mentioned in Treasure Island, the book. That's why he that's why he's going to show up on, and he was on Blackbeard's crew in real life. So if you're making a Steed Blackbeard show, I think it's more interesting that Steed never shows up on Black Sails.
That is kind of weird.
Yeah. Anyways, that's the really grimdark queer pirate show. If you liked Our Flag Means Death, that should not indicate whether or not you would like Black Sails at all.
Yeah,
do not use that as an indicator. I am not selling it on that. Yeah, no.
It is also kind of impressive, like, in Our Flag Means Death's favor, that we got like a this pirate comedy became a big hit despite having some really graphic violence and stuff in it. Like, I think that's worth something.
All right. So we have to choose between Our Flag Means Death and Andor. I think that, I don't know. Now I'm thinking about it more and moving this bag of Christmas candy. really loudly in my office. And I think maybe I like Our Flag Means Death more. Wait, so Gen's definitely Our Flag Means Death is the vote.
Yep.
Celeste, are you on Andor?
I still want to say that I still want to say that I don't think we're ever going to get anything like Andor again. Even honestly, until the second season is streaming, I'm not going to believe that we're going to get anything like it again. But on the other hand, Our Flag Means Death is really special, and I'm willing to compromise. Not unlike Mon Mothma, the amazing political figure who is explored in Andor, the hit television show on Disney Plus.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to vote for Our Flag Means Death.
Yes. The name of compromise.
The name of compromise? That's just the name of a good argument.
Yeah, Andor and Sandman and Peacemaker,
and
all goddamn amazing too. Like, I'm still loving all of them.
Yeah, this is just like nitpicking between really, really good shows.
It really is. It's not even like this isn't. All of these shows
the margins
are
are
so
so close here.
And again, I want to put out the disclaimer that just because I didn't mention a show doesn't mean I don't like it. Like, I really enjoyed Wednesday, but it does not hold up to the rest of these.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's like being the best science fiction movie in 1982. It's like, yeah, maybe Tron isn't going to be anyone's pick for the best sci-fi movie of 1982, but that's because it's in the same room with Wrath of Khan and Blade Runner. Like.
Yeah, because like I enjoyed Wednesday. I enjoyed I enjoyed Wheel of Time. Well, that came out last year. Okay, that's 2021. Okay, so safely off the table anyways. Yeah, it's I think Our Flag Means Death. Now, the worst TV show, the worst new TV show, I'm going with Dahmer.
Ooh, good.
Dahmer's
I'll agree to that.
To beat in that regard.
I'll agree to
fuck
that.
everybody who made that show.
Yeah.
Hard agree. The ugliness that it brought it forward to, like, if you dressed your kid up as Jeffrey Dahmer, I reserve the right to kick you, like, in the shin.
If you're out there romanticizing Jeffrey Dahmer, fuck off. Just completely.
There's no need to romanticize serial killers in any way, shape, or form.
And also, like,
absolutely no need. No need to idolize them.
The families of his victims are still mourning.
Yeah. Like,
and
leave them alone.
He predicated on the queer and minority, like the black population of Milwaukee.
Yeah.
All right. It's and I will tell you that, like, as a kid growing up in Milwaukee, like, I was like 10 years old or so when he got caught, and like that is like the imagery of my nightmares growing up. Just
there's a big true crime is a tightrope, and I'm not ruling all of it out, but a lot of these murder shows, especially Dahmer is like the most craven, gross version of that thing.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
So, it's screw everyone involved in making Dahmer that Star Wars TV show for 2022, unless someone else has got a better idea.
Nope.
I have a runner-up I just want to shout out really quick. It's also this one's a documentary, but I feel like shouting it out. There was a Hulu miniseries called The Deep End, which is about a alleged cult leader, Teal Swan. And it was based in theory on a podcast that a journalist did interviewing the alleged cult leader, but the showrunners did not listen to the podcast at all. So it was attached to it in name only. And then, well, Teal Swan absolutely does some really skeevy, definitely not above the board things. This documentary deceptively edits things and really undercuts any arguments against Teal Swan and what she's doing
Oh, she's
by
awful.
presenting it extremely dishonestly. Yeah, no, she's an awful person. But that's the thing that sucks, is that they present her in such a dishonest manner that it gives her outs.
Oh,
And I just
screw
wanted to
them. It's not as bad as Dahmer, but that's pretty bad.
not as bad as Dahmer. It's a similar vein.
All
Ugh.
right.
Really gross. But yeah, no, Dahmer, easy vote for worst thing of this. Ugh.
Let's move beyond this, Celeste.
Beyond the Thunderdome. Okay, no, let's go to Japan.
Get our weeb on.
Let's get our weeb on. Okay, so obviously, since it was such a packed year for like good TV shows, turns out that was also like a thing in Japan. Lot of really good TV coming out of Japan this year. Now I won't shut up about Gundam the Witch from Mercury, and I have no intention of stopping anytime soon. I finally got my gay Gundam show. I am going to bask in it, but I can't, like, in good conscience call that the best.
I can. I don't watch it, but I can.
I want to. It's really good. You should
I
go.
can say
Anyway,
lots of stuff in good conscience. No one listens to this show.
I want. I haven't seen Shin Ultraman yet. That's not a TV show, but it came out in Japan this year. I heard it was a lot of fun. Hideaki Anno, the second film in the Hideaki Anno relitigates his childhood trilogy. I've heard very good things about it. Spy Family is an amazing show. Friend of the show, host of Two Boobs Watch the Tube, Vink, watches it with his kids every week. So, like, I really want to shout out Spy Family. But at the end of the day, my heart is drawn to the artsiest but also horniest show about a guy made of chainsaws there is.
Yes.
The horny guy made of chainsaw show, aka Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man.
It's on both Crunchyroll and Hulu. I'm actually, after we record this, I'm watching the finale. Again, you sound like you're also in the Chainsaw Man camp.
I am totally in the Chainsaw Man. Yes. I love Pochita too much.
It's one of those ones where, like, the manga had been such a big deal. And so, like, people were really hyped up about how the adaptation was going to go. And while I think we really do need to look at MAPPA, the studio that's producing it, and how badly they treat their animators, the people working on Chainsaw Man clearly care. Animation's gorgeous, sound design is great, voice work is spot frickin' on. It knows when to take time to just hang out with the characters. It knows when to be aggressively gory and gross.
It's got a little bit of everything.
It's got a little bit of everything. Definitely earns that TVMA rating. Probably the I'm willing to go so far as to say probably the sexiest scene I've seen in a TV show with two fully clothed characters. Like, at least one of the best scenes I've seen, and it's a deeply disturbing, kind of gross scene, but it's also like they're nailing it though. Like, the vibes are there. It's something. It is really special.
I do want to give a shout out to my runner-up.
Okay.
Show from Japan, and that's Gudetama, An Excellent Adventure.
Oh, the depressed egg boy.
Yes, lazy depressed egg boy.
Lazy depressed egg boy. What a cutie.
It's so good. It's so cute.
Sometimes you need just a good dose of cute, and Gudetama's good for that. I've come around. Gudetama used to gross me out. I've come around on him, I think. It's because one of my coworkers is a big Gudetama fan, so. Yeah, I think that's I'm comfortable. I can definitely give Gudetama some love, but yeah, I'm definitely comfortable putting Chainsaw Man
Yeah.
as our best
Um,
thing from Japan right now.
I will shout out. I've been catching up on a lot of animated films. Um,
Hmm.
so I've watched Drifting Home,
Okay.
which is real cute. Um, and then Bubble, which is also pretty cute.
I meant to watch Bubble. I didn't get to see that one yet.
It's cute.
Okay.
I think you'd like some of the styling in it.
I
I
am
think you
a
should cosplay that main girl. Like,
okay.
she's your vibe.
Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna have to take a look at that. Ugh, I already have Amity but Gundam version added to my list for this year, so we'll see. We'll see what 2023 looks like. Yeah, no, it's good stuff for good things from Japan. I'm confident putting Chainsaw Man as our top thing.
All right, but what's our
Um,
worst thing from
What's our
Japan?
worst thing? I feel like we have some strong content. I don't think our contenders are as strong, but there are some strong contenders. My one that I almost put for best thing, weirdly enough, is the PlayStation 4 and 5 video game Gungrave Gore,
Oh, jeez.
a PlayStation 2 game inexplicably released in 2022. And by that I mean visually, it looks like a PlayStation 4 or 5 game, but gameplay wise, it is almost indistinguishable from the original Gungrave on PlayStation 2. This is not a compliment. In fact, in some ways, it has worse gameplay than the original Gungrave for the PlayStation 2. But those Yasuhiro Naito, the Trigun guy designs really, really carry it. Almost make you forget that you're playing an incredibly awful game. Gungrave Gore, I love you. You are maybe too Japanese for your own good. My actual vote for worst thing from Japan though. This one's a bit esoteric, and maybe it's not fair for me to use this considering that this is technically for something happening next year, but the hype that it is building up is upsetting me now, so I want to talk about it now. So a new Rurouni Kenshin anime is happening. And a lot of people have been hyping this up, and that there's going to be another Rurouni Kenshin, and maybe I shouldn't even be talking about it, all things considered. But Rurouni Kenshin was for the longest time my favorite manga, and it's still a manga that I love very deeply. Unfortunately, it was also created by a man named Nobuhiro Watsuki, who in November of 2017 was caught with enough child pornography that he was assumed to have been a distributor. Watsuki is got a small fine, like a 200,000 yen fine, and didn't serve any prison time. His book was temporarily suspended from Jump, but now it's publishing again, and he's getting a brand new high-budget anime to promote his manga. So, maybe think that one over before sharing the trailers for new Rurouni Kenshin. Just throwing that out there. That's my worst thing from Japan right now.
Yeah. I'll agree to that. Let's not
Yeah, I agree.
support
I'm
horrible
right there.
people.
Yeah, just hurts. I'm coping. I'll get there eventually.
Let's be less depressing.
Let's be less
eventually
depressing.
we'll move on to our next section, which is video games.
Video games? I love video games.
I got 2 words for you. I got 2 words.
Two words.
Triangle strategy.
Oh, yeah, of course.
2 words. Triangle strategy. Did I play the shit out of Triangle Strategy this year? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Is it the best game that Square has put out since Octopath Traveler? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Am I a huge fan of tactics-style RPGs? Absolutely. Is Vandal Hearts my favorite video game of all time? Yes, it is. And I will fight you, and it is better than Final Fantasy Tactics. Come at me, bro. But Square did good this time when they made Triangle Strategy. And there ain't no Vandal Hearts 3 coming out to show it up. So, Konami, get on that.
Square, it was almost like they doubled down on games that I actually enjoyed to make me almost look the other way about them getting really into NFTs, because there was Triangle Strategy,
We don't talk about that.
the port of Nier Automata was amazing. The port of Crisis Core is really, really good. Like, I just completed the Sephiroth boss fight last night. It was very fun. Highly recommend both of those. But yeah, it's a good tactics game. That does feel good to play.
I gotta play through it a second time. I just got myself the new controller too, so I'm gonna be real happy. I got that the 8BitDo's Ultimate controller, the Bluetooth version, and I am looking forward to sitting down and playing through Triangle Strategy again, because it's really important that when you're playing a turn-based strategy RPG to have the highest quality controller. Having analog sticks that are drift-proof is 100% important in a turn-based strategy game.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Gen? I feel like you keep up with gaming better than I do.
Okay, so I've got a bit of a lineup of some of my favorite games from this year. Starting with a recent release, Scorn, which is a spooky, like, H.R. Geiger alien-esque game, which is visually amazing. It is so cool looking, and I love the aesthetic of it. It's so creepy and haunting, and it's great. After this, I'm definitely gonna shout out Stray as one of my favorite games this year.
Oh yeah, that's supposed to be really good. Yeah.
You literally play as a cat, and it's so cute. One of my favorite games this year has been Cult of the Lamb, a roguelike where you also start up your own cult and try to take down gods. But
yeah, I've seen gameplay. I've seen a really interesting review on that. Yeah,
I adore the soundtrack. I've listened to it so many times. But my game of the year for this year is also the Game Awards Game of the Year, Elden Ring.
As a trans girl, I do feel the need to endorse Elden Ring. That's basically a
Elden Ring's gonna beat my Triangle Strategy, isn't it?
I love the lore
also,
so much.
I
it is
understand.
so
as a lifelong
it's
From
so much fun to
person,
get into.
I gotta. Yeah, no, I feel that. God, the aesthetic is so good.
But my unit
it's
placement.
So good. and you've got best character ever, Alexander.
Okay.
Alexander Iron Fist.
I guess Elden
Lord
Ring's
God.
gonna win. That's okay. I know what game is better in my heart, and that is the game I enjoy playing.
That's okay.
It's okay.
Gungrave Gore, on the other hand, I think is another
Shush.
strong.
No.
Speaking of the worst games, because Elden Ring's gonna win our best game of the year. That's fine. That's acceptable. It is a very good game. It's just in a genre I don't play, so
That's fine.
yeah, that is fine. I could take my preferred list. Now, my suggestion for worst game is going to start with the same publishers of my best game suggestion, and that is we're going back to Square Enix with Chocobo GP for Switch.
Oh.
Because they sold it for $50, filled it with microtransactions, and canceled support within 9 months.
Wow.
Yeah, that's hard to beat.
It is ironically, it's actually a good game. Like it's actually a good kart racer, but everything else around it makes it terrible.
So
As
I was
opposed to Gungrave Gore, a game from 2022 that feels and plays like a game from like the early 2000s, featuring
I-
those character designs by
So it feels
my
like the
man,
previous Chocobo
Yasuo
racing
Naito.
game. Yeah, got it.
So I was gonna say Callisto Protocol because it had so many issues upon release, and it it's done by the same developer as Dead Space, and I feel like they made it a little bit too much like Dead Space, so much so that I just want it to be a Dead Space game, and it's not enough like its own thing. But I was thinking during the episode, and I came up with an even better, well, even worse game that I am not going to support at all, and that is Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, oof.
Is that out yet?
I believe it's out.
Let me go.
'Cause
I'm
it
gonna
was-
Google
they
this.
Let's
wanted it
double
out
check.
for the
Let's
Christmas
double
We're
check.
gonna-
didn't they?
Because if it's
Hogwarts
not this
Legacy
year,
release
it's
date.
gonna be next year.
Right. No, it doesn't come out till February.
Oh,
Damn it.
never mind then.
I mean,
Okay, it's gonna
good
be
damn
next
it.
We
year.
know who's
God
gonna
damn
win worst next year. Yeah, Hogwarts Legacy isn't out until February.
Okay, good.
Don't buy that game when it comes out.
Don't
besides
support it.
before supporting J.K. Rowling, besides supporting J.K. Rowling and continuing her franchise, the plot of it itself really seems very anti-Semitic and pretty much it's blood libel the game, and it's gross.
Don't do it.
Yeah, it's not
Nope.
great.
Don't do it. Go play Wolfenstein instead.
Yes, we should all play Wolfenstein.
Everyone should play Wolfenstein.
And I'm not going to dictate which Wolfenstein game you play.
No.
You know, if
You had a
you've-
lot of good options, to be fair.
if you've got a copy of the old Castle Wolfenstein 2D shooters that inspired, in quotes, id to make Wolfenstein 3D without having the rights to Castle Wolfenstein, go play those. Even, it's all fine.
Yeah.
Go play the Doom 2 Secret Wolfenstein levels.
Yeah.
I feel like I failed though when we were talking about how good Elden Ring was. I didn't mention that there was a free to play Overwatch style Gundam FPS that came out that people are still loving.
Oh,
Yeah, that was awesome.
good for them.
That is
yeah,
awesome.
Gundam Evolution rocks. And arguably it's better at being Overwatch right now than Overwatch is. So
Yeah, Overwatch is
that's-
kind of sucky right now.
I would describe it as fine. Like, it's not bad enough to even bring up in this discussion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, that's fair.
Let's talk about bad things. So, Callisto Protocol and Chocobo GP are our two serious nominees right now. Do we have any additional nominees for worst video game of 2022?
Gungrave Gore really wants to clinch that nomination. No, I'm gonna give it to the the Chocobo GP I had forgotten about, and remembering that like a game got killed by microtransactions. That I'm remembering it again. It made me angry. all
Imagine
over
spending
again.
$50 a game on the
Yeah.
game and then getting
Yeah, 'cause at least, like,
microtransactions.
Yeah, at least with Callisto Protocol, like it's still like pretty to look at and like cool to play. Like it's still like a game you can play
Well, it's like
without
Yeah.
paying extra.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, you get microtransactions on a free-to-play game or something like that. You're like, okay, that's what's supporting the game. But they charge $50 for that game on Switch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's offensive.
No, that will. Yeah, I think that's gonna be our worst game
Yeah.
for how it's been handled.
And again, canceling
Yes,
all support
yes.
after 9 months. All those people who spent the money on the microtransactions.
Got screwed over even
Yeah,
harder.
yeah.
It's
Mm,
an awful policy.
yeah. So, anyways,
Yeah.
we have one more category to go, and that is convention.
Ooh.
Now, our usual rules on our best convention is that it can't be a convention that we ran. Unfortunately, the only convention I went to in 2022 was the one that I ran, so I'm going to abstain from this conversation.
Sounds good. I went to 2 conventions. They were both good.
God, I actually went to quite a few this year. Albeit at JFAX, I was in the vendor hall all weekend. So, I can't really say much for how that one was run. I think both No Brand Con and Kitsune Con were exemplary on how to deal with like the post-pandemic con scene,
I
though.
went to 3 conventions. I was only there for 2 days.
That's right, you were at Keats. I was.
I wasn't eating today because I had dinner with you and Tessa.
Yeah,
Right.
you tested me grab dinner. So yeah, no, Keats and No Brand Con were exemplary in dealing with the whole COVID thing.
Mhm.
And like wearing masks in the con space, while sometimes not always the most comfortable, it worked. And people dealt with it well.
Mhm.
It's a small price to pay for, keeping
Well,
the attendees safe.
So I went to No Brand, Kitsune, and EverCon.
Mhm.
I sold at EverCon, so there's not much to say about that.
Right.
I think I'm gonna say No Brand as my favorite, as like my best, solely because, and this is purely personal. I forgot the word.
Bias, preference,
Selfish.
experience.
That word. Totally selfish. But all of my friends were there.
Oh, that's a
I got
good
to see
point.
so many friends there that I have not seen in years. And it was amazing.
Yeah, I like comparatively, like I had, so like I'm going through. I actually went to way more cons than I wanted to admit. I had a really good time at Colossal Con North. I still don't think they should have had a COVID policy, and I'm very disappointed with them in that regard. I had a good time at why can I not remember you con at Northern Illinois University?
KuroshiCon?
Kuroshi, yeah, Kuroshi was a whole lot of fun. It was really fun being my first time cosplaying Shinobu from Demon Slayer and getting little kids wanted to take pictures with me. That felt really good. JFAX was really cool, albeit I was behind a booth all day. On the other hand, I sold voice actors figures of characters they played, so that was memorable. But yeah, No Brand, I got to see all of my friends, and that was really special. And Kitsune, I had the most satisfying experience I've ever had hosting a panel. Like in my more than a decade of running panels. And I don't get to say that very often. Obviously.
So it'd be between No Brand and Kitsune.
Yeah. I feel like they tend to be my favorites anyway. Go figure,
Yeah.
but yeah, it really is between No Brand and Kitsune for me right now.
You two are going to have to decide because, again, full disclosure for listeners who do not know, I was the convention director for No Brand Con 2022, which makes this conversation really awkward, and am a co-founder of the organization and am currently the 2023 Vendor and Artist Alley coordinator.
I'm gonna give, that friend factor is pretty there, so I'm willing to agree with you on that one again.
Okay. So basically, we're saying the best convention is the one we saw the most of our friends at.
Yep, basically, we are at that age. Although, oh boy, I am going to. 2 of those panels I did at Kitsune, I'm going to be submitting to more cons because they were the best experiences I've ever had running panels, and I'd like to keep doing them. So, yeah.
Good. So good job, Trey.
Yay!
Good job, Trey.
I did good.
Well,
I
you
will.
ran the best one.
I will say that was our most well-run No Brand Con we've ever done. It's you guys were complimentary about the COVID policies, which were the policies I wrote. So that's why I'm trying to like. All right, so enough talking. Let's not talk about how great I am. Let's talk about how bad things are, and I think we have some strong contenders this year for worst conventions of 2022. And I think the 2 strongest, in my opinion, are first off TwitchCon for with the foam pit that they didn't put it up. It was put up by a vendor, but they did allow it, in which a well-known streamer broke her back, and other people were also injured. And that is one of 2. And the other major contender, and the reason why I think this is a major contender, maybe more so, is because this was the decisions of the convention staff and not where with TwitchCon, it was a vendor who they allowed to set up something. This is a case of the staff themselves making the policy changes. Anime Central, who days before their convention this year in May, rescinded most of their COVID-19 safety measures.
Absolutely bizarre.
Yeah.
I still do not understand that decision.
Yeah, and
after all this time, I don't get it.
Yeah, and they backpedaled a little, but not enough.
Yeah, it was.
It's interesting how the worst convention is coming down to how they're being run.
I mean, admittedly, that's been a lot of where we are going to, I think, where we're going to be seeing the worst stuff right now, especially since we're still coming out of COVID. It's not over. I wish it was, but it's not.
Yeah.
And like this, people's lives do hang in the balance for the time being, and that's.
They do.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's so hard because it's like with TwitchCon, like we had these awful accidents that have like, I mean, like Adriana Chechik lost she was pregnant at the time, and they had to terminate the pregnancy in the searches for her broken back. Like, it was bad. On the other hand, Twitch, while being negligent allowing Lenovo to set up that booth, didn't make it it wasn't a conscious move versus like Anime Central making a conscious move that put attendees in danger.
It's just freaking clown shoes.
Yeah. That's a really tough split, though. Can we just say both? And I think conventions, like, do better on your policies. Like, come on.
I think that where ASEN crosses the line for me, where ASEN crosses the line for me is that I know people who've worked on staff at ASEN. I know them and trust them to make better decisions than this. So I'm more disappointed by them. I'll say that much. ASEN is more disappointing to me.
I mean, those decisions were made at like I know a bunch of people who work for ASUN, and none of them were at the level of the people who made the decision.
Yeah,
Like,
that's fair. Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge organization with many levels of hierarchy.
That's also true. Maybe that's.
I mean, but I'm torn between the two. So I'm okay with Gen of listing. I'm okay with. I agree with Gen's idea of splitting it between the two of them. I mean, we've got a 3-way tie for best movie.
That's true. Yeah, let's split it then. I'm fine with that.
All right.
Yeah.
That was all the categories, guys.
Ta-da!
So, in summation, our best movie of 2022 is a 3-way tie between Glass Onion, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and RRR. Our worst movie is Morbius. Our best new TV series is Our Flag Means Death, and our worst new TV series was Dahmer. The best thing from Japan this year is Chainsaw Man. The worst thing from Japan is the new Rurouni Kenshin. And in video games, our best game is Elden Ring. Our worst game is Chocobo GP. And our best convention, with myself abstaining from that vote, was No Brand Con. And our worst convention is a tie between Anime Central and TwitchCon. And to everyone who did poorly, do better. In some cases, like Square, do better. Anime Central, TwitchCon, do better. Just stop publishing Rurouni Kenshin and send that guy to jail. That's
and Gungrave Gore, maybe do a little bit worse. That way you can get on the list.
Yeah, you were too mediocre. You weren't good enough. You weren't bad enough. You just were you enough. But really, when you think about it, isn't that what's important? That you're just yourself and you know what that is. Anyways, on to the Vomit Hat Steve challenge.
Challenge.
All right. And I swear I'm going to stop doing it after this book, but I'm going to keep doing this book until someone guesses it. The Vomit Hat Steve challenge is the part of the show where I read a line of a random book, and if you guess correctly, you get listed. You join the Hall of Awesome. The benefits of the Hall of Awesome are as follows. 1, I list your name on the website on a page that you have to go dig for, but it's there. 2, we say your name out loud every episode of the show. And 3, you can have, let me look around here. You can have this used battery. You can have this specific used battery. All right? You'll have to trust me on that. Anyways, the current members of the Hall of Awesome are as follows. Arkamai, Zero, Rena Innocenti, Cheese McDamu, Krista, Slithery D, Shameless Otaku, The Random Ramblings Man, Corfan, Capito, Chris Graham, Lilisaurus, Paper Godzilla, Cavsy, The Minnesota Librarian, Sean Orange, Keith Shuzawo, Sakura Sunset, Joel Kreisman, Patrick Delahanty, Wonderland Hearts, and Megsy Sass Council. Now I shall read you a line from a book. Marvelous how easily humans do that, he said with admiration. I still need much practice. Was there something you wanted, sir? If you know what book that's from, go to nerdandtie.com, click on the contact button in the menu, fill out the formy form, and tell us. Or if you have any other thoughts, ideas, tell us what your best and worst for 2022 were. Give us your thoughts. What did we miss? Is there some real obvious thing we should have included? Go on that form and tell us there, and we will read your feedback and maybe even read it on the show, because that is the purpose of that form. That's its job. Why are you asking these questions, Steve? Just fill out the form, Steve.
Fill it out.
Do it. What the heck, Steve?
Yes, Steve.
God damn it, Steve.
Steve, I'm disappointed as always.
So's your mother, Steve. Your mother's very disappointed.
They're all weird, right?
I don't know.
Keep on. I don't know.
Hey, we gotta get this train wreck into the station.
You're still driving the boat, Celeste.
I don't like boats. I can't swim. Anyway, I had a very I despite everything, I'm really glad that we all made it through 2022, a year that I definitely knew what it was. It was really, it was a really good time, and I look forward to another year, hopefully even better than the last one. So as always, I am Celeste Startwin.
I'm Trey Dorn.
I'm getting proud.
And remember, you can subscribe to the show on your favorite podcatcher from Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or just anything where podcasts are available. Get on there. And if you can rate and review us, do that too. And tell your friends how great we are. You can follow the show on social media. We are, as long as Twitter exists, Twitter.com/nerdandtie will find us there. But who knows? You can also
Don't
follow.
hold your breath.
You can get updates on our shows on Tumblr at nerdandtie.tumblr.com. That's a good social network. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/nerdandtie. And remember, you can always join our Discord by finding an invite at nerdandtie.com/Discord and talk to us. You could literally just like talk to us on like some random Tuesday and be like, hey Trey, what do you think of this new show I've been watching, The Winchesters? And I'll tell you, don't watch that show, and I'm sorry for everything in your life. But anyways, you should do that. Remember, you can support the show financially again by sponsoring episodes by going to nerdandtie.com, clicking on the sponsor, or you can support us financially directly. I am on Patreon at patreon.com/TRAEGORN. Celeste is on Patreon at patreon.com/CelesteIsBest.
It's true.
And Gen sells things on the internet at Ocelot Dude Designs. What you got on sale right now, Gen?
Well, the shop's closed until next year. So come back next year and I'll have a new Jackalope plush.
Brand new Jackalope?
Mm-hmm.
My God.
That's amazing. Anyways, remember, in your hearts, in your minds, in the place where you go at night, deep, dark, when you want to be alone and have thoughts in your head about everything you've known and or done, just remember, we'll be there with you in your headphones in podcast form. Because again, this is a podcast. If you were unaware of that, you have, for the last hour and 17 minutes and 13 seconds, been listening to a podcast this whole time. This is a podcast. If you were unaware, you are now aware. I think.
Man, we should just like do like esoteric horror nonsense SCP type stuff.
You pitching a new show for the network, again?
No.
You volunteering?
Nerd presents the legally distinguishable from the Magnus Archives.
Yeah.
This is the Wizard Books. Spooky.
Episode 4, 2069, Scary Ghost.
Nice.
Recorded by Jonathan Sims. Except not.
Oh, I can't make a bong bubbler noise. Dang it. I don't have the right kind of cup.
Booga booga booga. Very scary.
Say your catchphrase, Celeste.
Keep
Oh, we're
on
still
talking.
recording. Dang it.
the show hasn't ended yet.
Keep on smocking in the free world.
There. Now we can end the show again. Now we can end the show. What do you think? With the music is still playing?